All right. All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is going to be episode 1 of T3, our Tactical Tuesday Talks. Again, this is going to be a live, weekly, listener-driven chat. Today's topic is going to be, of course, holsters, because we are first a holster company. So we're going to go through our line of holsters. And how to carry them, when to carry. So your summer carries, your winter carries, type of clothing that you're going to carry with what holsters is going to work best. So we'll go through some of that. I also have my notes this time, so I will actually have a guide. Next week, just so everybody knows, we are going to go over, let's see, I switched it up a bit. Next week is going to be EDC Loadout. So stay tuned for next week. That's going to be going over a little bit of holsters, not going deep, but just how to pair your EDC with the right holster, the right firearm, what knife, flashlights, tools, medicals, accessories like that, just EDC stuff. And then the week following that, we are going to go into ammunition and magazines. We'll dive deep into that topic. But for tonight, we're going to stick to just holsters. So first, I'll go through the line of holsters that we offer and we carry and manufacture, and some that we're planning to manufacture and make this year. If anybody has any questions, of course, just drop them down in the comments here below. If you're watching this after, we will be checking the comments to answer those after this live stream. So to start, we're going to go with the basic inside the waistband. So it's very simple. Kydex, thermoformed, or foam press, depending on the options that you get. We still do both. So you've got the heat press is actually on here, keeping me warm, because it's cold in the shop. I think it's like 48 degrees in here and like 11 outside. So we do both. We are transitioning to try to do more vacuum form, which gives us more of those crisp, more vibrant lines, which is a quicker turnaround as well. But some of those old custom ones that have lights that we just don't have mold support on our vacuum stuff, we're still going to do foam, which that's our piece of a foam press there. Thanks to Iggy there from Feltec. He's pretty much made videos that help every holster maker start up and be where they're at today. In addition to the inside the waistband, this is our DCC monoblock. I will show the regular TRS clip from Talon Retention Systems. This is our standard plastic clip. So those are the options that you're gonna see. Some additional options, though, are the Ulti clips. These are very popular. These are spring-loaded metal clips designed for beltless carry. There is a belt option that is going to be coming soon. I have to order them still, but there is one that's designed to go on a belt. So that little clip opens up your garment. This will fit leggings, jeggings, sweatpants, yoga pants, anything really thin. It'll go right into here. You clamp that down, and they are tuckable. So you can tuck your shirt down inside there, and you are able to tuck a shirt in. So these are really nice for carry in business attire as well as these are marketed mainly for women, because most women who carry don't carry a belt. This is a different style, just same design on the head, just mounts different. But this allows you to, again, for business carry, is you can mount the clip to your belt, to your pants, put your belt over the clip, tuck your shirt in. That way you don't even have a belt clip showing, so you can be in formal attire and be completely concealed. 2 of our drop clip, or the J-hooks or overhook style, we have the plastic tackware that we've been using pretty much since day 1. And then this is the new DCC Mod 4 HLR. These have been very popular, very aggressive, and these are also a very popular clip. We are demoing another one. We just got it to sample. We are trying these out to see if we like this. So far, I do. Pain, they're tough. They're tough. The tackware does give quite a bit more. I haven't had one break yet. No calls for breakage, but we'll move on from there. This is our appendix rig. This is just a basic standard appendix rig. I actually don't have a sidecar made. I thought I had one in my demo bin, but I must have sold it at the last gun show. But if you can imagine, the sidecar is this. with a magazine carrier attached to it. It's stitched down with shot cord and allows it to flex and bend. But this is a light bearing with a claw. So this claw is that appendix claw. If you watched the intro video last week, this is that claw that pushes up against your belt, which conceals better for a larger pistol. That takes that grip and really just tucks it in tighter. Yeah, I did. Alpha, I did get them in. I tried with my little laser. Iggy's got them. He's gonna laser them to see how well that they do on a good fiber laser. I have plans to invest into a fiber laser to do everything in house this year, but other holster makers in the chat, they know fiber lasers aren't cheap, and I'm still pretty small, so that's gonna be a investment that maybe next year, trying for this year. But so far, these clips, I think they're actually from LAS Concealment. Helped design these clips. So far, I like how slim they are and how they're very aggressive. They're a pain in the butt to get on and off, but that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. I just have the little X-Tool 5-watt laser, which I use for pretty much just drop that in the trash. Marking. I use that for serializing, engraving, marking, so it's anything that I have that doesn't have a branded belt clip on it gets lasered. Actually, everything, regardless, gets lasered. But it helps me to brand everything that doesn't have actual lasered or etched branding. It does pretty well for that for a $350. So it was like $400 on Amazon. I was thinking of upgrading it because this one is pretty limited on materials. It does all right. But it probably will get upgraded. Ooh, Greg, that's cool. If you get your settings in, I might even have you do some of my lasers, man. I've done so it's really faint. This is an older one. This is the old DCC coating. The new one actually does pretty well. I don't have any laser with the new one. It's very faint. That's on metal. I just got to do it slow. And I got to run it twice and get really close in order to be able to laser on metal. And it doesn't do the same as a fiber, but pretty good. Actually, I might have one that's lasered already. Nope, I don't have any laser. So next is the fanny pack inside the waistband, which is essentially just an ambidextrous, no attachments holster with Velcro on the back. It comes with the Velcro not attached. That way you can attach this left or right. Usually, sometimes they'll have, depending on how the holster is, with its light bearing, I can't always get it. It'll come with a little hole, so that way you can lanyard it to it. A lot of these fanny packs that have the hook and loop panels on the inside also have tie down spots inside the corner, so you can take a small piece of 550 cord and you can attach this just in case that you really very aggressively pull your gun out and the Velcro fails, which unlikely because it's toughness. It's a 2 inch by 4 inch piece of hook and loop. That's a lot of grab, but just in case. 21 pass. Yeah, I think I'm at like 8 minutes to laser one monoblock, and I do 2 at a time. So, but I usually have as they're lasering, I'm prepping the rest of the holsters, so they're lasering in the background while I'm working on getting them finished and ready to assemble. Next, we're going to go to that select pretty much covers inside the waistbands. Like I said, I don't have a sidecar here. Our sidecar flags are what we call as our front and center. But if you've seen the website and you've seen other posts, that's like our most popular appendix rig. Next is we're going to go into the OWBs. We have 3 main types and 1 specialty type. Our main is the OWB standard. This is the pancake style. This is one I showed last week as well. This is 2 pieces. One change that we're going to have this year is we're going to be able to let you guys two-tone this. So typically when you pick a color, it'll be both sides will just be that same color. If you pick a custom print or carbon fiber, it's just the outside shell. Because that stuff is, and the material is more expensive, and it's kind of being wasted on the backside since it's just against your body. You don't see it. We usually just do black or a matching color. So if it's a red carbon fiber or a blue carbon fiber, or like this, for example, I didn't do a matching one because it's just a black with a jade background. But we'll typically do a black or a matching color of the base for whatever print it is. This is shown with the Dura clips. These are our new speed clips that we're going to be switching to. We're pretty much going to have all the Matchpoint USA mounting hardware for our OWB holsters. We've been using them for a while now. Super popular, really easy to use. The infinity loops, which I'll pull a set of those out. I should have had them already out, but the infinity loop option is probably going to end up being our standard. And that's these guys here. So what these allow you to do is, without having to do much with the holster, you can have a straight draw holster and you can make it cant forward, backwards, just ride higher or lower just by changing the alternation of these clips. Super versatile. They come with two different hole patterns. They're for 0.75 and 0.5. So they can really be thrown on any holster that has those are the two typical hole patterns. Yeah, Greg, I do like the new ones better. You can see how much more the multi-mold ones stick out versus the new Dura clips are more tucked behind. So it gives, even though these ones to kind of spread it out more, these give it more of a more compact feel. They're thicker by a lot. They're much more, it's in the name, they are more durable. It's a lot thicker. These have a lot more flex and play with them. And I've liked these. I use them every time I do a show. This is what I use. I've been using the multi-mold wings for forever. Even the flat pancake style ones, which, pull some of those out. These guys, which are much thinner compared to the infinity loop. These have a built-in angle to them. These are straight, but these are thinner. These are thicker, multiple holes, and angles that you can do. So this, I think, is just a much more versatile belt loop. I've been liking this a lot. And that's what we're pretty much going to switch to this full time. They do come in 1.5 and 1.75. Most of our belt clips, by the way, also do fit 1.5 to 1.75 inch belts. There's only a few that don't. DCC monoblock is one. There was talk about there being a 1.75 model coming out. We haven't seen it yet. We're all waiting for it, but nothing yet. And the tack wears. I don't believe my tack wears. I think these will still fit a 1.75. Ulti clips don't matter. The DCC mono, the HLR4 mod 4s that I use, they have a 1.5 and 1.75 option as well. All right, next one is going to be our paddle holster. This is very simple. Just OWB. It's almost like an inside the waistband on a paddle. Real quick, going to the range. This is what I recommend for anybody who just needs a holster just to quickly go to the range and go shoot with. This is going to be more for more for concealed carry, because I can conceal carry this with just this hoodie, a light jacket, great for fall and winter carry. This can be concealed. Not the best. It does stick out quite a bit more, but it's more compact. These will also be available with a duty hood soon, probably within a few months here, because we have a new hood that's going to work better with the paddle. And I just got it. I just threw it on a holster real quick. I still have to. This one was made for a different duty hood, so it doesn't quite work like it's supposed to. I just threw it on. But there is the new TRS duty hood. Like I said, it's not right. But if you're familiar and if you've ever used the Spets gear hoods, it's the same push button style, but this is made in the USA. So out of the box, this worked. Anybody that's used the Spets gears know they don't always work out of the box. You got to heat them, you got to lube them. The stars almost have to align for those things to work. They're unreliable like crazy. That's why we dropped them. Not to mention they don't have the Made in USA tag. Not that important to us, but the Spets gears quality is just not consistent. So the two that we're going to have, we're actually going to have three. We will have one Chinese-made hood, and it's the Holster Builders Safariland SL3 or SLS copy, which you can put the Safariland Century on to get level 3. We're trying that one out. I don't have it out yet because I've never demoed it. I haven't brought it out of the bag. So, I'm going to see that till I've actually got that one working. This one, I've been excited. I've been waiting on it. This is the Blade Tech WRS hood that we've been using, which is a kind of got to press it towards the body. Every time I demo this, people they can't figure it out. If you know how to use this hood, it's great and it can be quick. This is just easy. Push the button, hood flies forward. This is a nice squared oversized hood. So far, I think it fits just about any optic, even the new 507 comps from Holosun, those larger ones, which is really nice. These have a long strap and a short strap. So you have to have either a long one or a short one, depending on your optic, or large beaver tails like 1911s, 2011s, and things like that. This will fit. It's supposed to fit all of them. So we're moving to this. You'll have 3 options. This will still offer until we start getting a lot of feedback that, hey, this one sucks, this one's great. Then this is going to be the only one we're going to offer. Still fits the same hole pattern as the WRS and the Spets gear. So if you have an existing holster that's made with the old ones, then you can upgrade to this. So that's great. And now that we're on these are our duties. This is the duty holster. This one's made out of, this was my first ever one I made for myself. So it is not the prettiest. It's not the nicest. I just did it to demo a lot of the hardware. This is one that sits in my personal collection because I don't like it. I messed up a lot. But this is made out of the thicker 125 material, which is more durable, less give, just to demo the 2 different style hoods. Attachment points for the OWB duty are going to be, the range and the duty are the same. The only difference from the duty is it comes standard with the hood. You're going to have the Safariland or Safariland equivalent fork. You're going to have the G-Code RTI hanger, and you will have the new Blade Tech tech mount, which we showed last week. But for anybody that's new, we've got it. That is this mounting system that has the disc instead of the fork or the 3-prong that RTI has, with this mounting piece here, which will go directly to the Blade Tech duty drop. There is an adapter that we have to go to a Safariland UBL. This can mount directly to Molly and Tech Lock, allowing you to put your holster in, hit the button, and index this however you need to. And that's 10 degrees of increments, 10 degree increments, 360 degree rotations, and then you can lock it. So that's also added to the site. That's new. That's great. That's for our duty and range setup. The next thing we have is our chest holster. This is the first chest harness that we have. That's switched to one from Quick Lock. We're also in the process of designing our own harness to make this in-house. But we do have a chest harness. Some of the faults I don't like on this is that there's 3 QDs. Some people might like that. However, this QD I had to move it in a weird way because it got in the way of my grip, and I didn't like it. And I don't like the retention of the attachment point, because I want this to be able to, you want to be able to move it and adjust it. But anytime you have something that moves, screws loosen. So unless you get it set up where you want and you Loctite your screws, then this harness is not bad. It is a 2-inch webbing, but surprising, you can attach our 175 belt clips to put your extra mag carrier on here, as well as you have a bunch of other space along this where you can attach that. Then you can take these off and put the Dura clips on, put the infinity loops on. And so this chest holster can become a hip holster. Our standard holsters can be put onto a chest holster. So you can buy just the harness and one holster shell, and now you can start to carry your OWBS or standard in your chest configuration for when you're going out hunting. When you're done hunting, you can pop some screws out, throw it back on your hip. We're trying to get it to where we can do that with almost all of our holsters with a different mounting system. I know there's a few people out there that had, TRS has like a mounting hub, but I'm trying to get something that is not so, I know Greg Thompson at GT Holsters, he designed one. and I don't want to be copying anybody. So I'm going to come up with my own way to do it. Similar idea, different style. We'll go with that. I don't like copying people. Let's see what else here. We've got, let me check. That covers it for holsters. So that's pretty much what we carry and what we offer. Some new things that are going to be, like I said, the OWBS and the paddle are going to get hoods. So you're going to be able to have this level 2 style hood. And the reason that they're getting upgraded is because it's a simple push button. The other ones were too difficult to use in that concealed carry position. It just wasn't going to work out. So those style holsters are going to get hooked up with a level 2 hood, which a lot of people have been asking for, especially a lot of churches that do the security at churches, or guys that are private security that need to be concealed, but they still want to have a level 2 retention holster. So now we'll go into clothing to wear when carrying, which is really important. A lot of people do not take this into consideration. A lot of people that will wear tight shirts, tight-fitting jeans, fashionist clothes, and then they'll try to carry like a Glock 17 in it. And, well, you're going to stick out. I'm going to see that. It's going to print. Printing, if you don't know, is when you put you're showing your gun's outline on your attire. General rule of thumb is when you're carrying inside the waistband, go 2 sizes bigger than what your normal pant size is to accommodate for carrying a gun. A lot of people, all my clothes, I just do that because I carry every day. But you don't have to do it with all your pants. You can have a set number of clothes that, hey, when I'm going to carry today, I'm going to wear these clothes. But generally, I just go 2 sizes up on everything. Shirts the same way. I've never liked tight shirts. I don't like wearing mediums or anything like that. I don't think I could fit in a medium anymore. So I wear a larger shirt, so I have some more room, and allows you also, when you go to draw, if you have something that's tight and you have to clear that garment to get to your gun and it's tight, it's not going to be as easy. Keep in mind when if you're going to carry with this is all you need with this is just a button-down shirt, a pullover hoodie, a vest, something, just a jacket that goes below your belt line, and you can conceal this, which means I can carry a full-size gun. This is for a Glock 17 or a Glock 45, which I had a Glock 45 with a comp, so threaded barrel basically made it a 17. So you got a large 17-round grip, full-size grip, full-size frame, and I can conceal this very easily. Eye appendix carry, it's safe. People will always think they're going to shoot their boys, and it's just uneducated people that are worried because they have a gun pointed towards their no-no spot. Well, proper training with concealment, proper training with reholstering, because most of your accidents happen when reholstering, not on coming out of the holster. Not saying that they're not accidents coming out, but most accidents are reholstering. Take your time. Look, people, if you've ever been to a training, they tell you, get focused on your eyes down range and try to do stuff without looking. Look, be safe and look. If you've engaged into a threat and the threat is gone, look, pay attention, reholster. If you're reholstering, there's no threat. Your eyes can go down. So, get good training. That's where we're going to end it to at the end, but we'll always end with training. Training is important. Always train. When you get a holster and you get a gun that you're going to use for concealed carry, dry fire practice is the biggest tool you can use. Put the gun in the holster and dry fire in your house. Practice getting that garment out of the way. Practice putting the holster on and off safely. Are you going to be putting the gun in the holster and then putting it on, put the holster in your belt line and then put the gun in? Always things you got to think about, and you got to practice. You got to go through it. You got to do it. And you have to do it over and over and over again, because repetition builds that muscle memory, and that muscle memory is what we want. But we want good muscle memory, so train properly. Get good instruction. Belts is another key point. So as if you know, I'm a core belt dealer, and I've used the next belt. I used it for about almost a month before I went to core. And that's why I went to core belts, because the next belt shredded. It was garbage within a week. Don't recommend them. So I will harp. Core belts are the best. They're kind of pricey, but what you're getting, it's a good deal. It's a good buy. We have those available on the website as well. We'll sometimes run sales on those. And we're going to have combo deals. So we're going to have a EDC bundle once we get the site updated and upgraded, we're going to have the holster bundle. So you'll have 3 different bundles. One's going to be a holster and a belt at a discounted rate. One will be holster, mag carrier, and dump tray. And then the third bundle, which I think is going to be our elite bundle, will be the belt, holster, mag carrier, and a dump tray. And each bundle package, the discount gets more. So I'll save you some money there and be able to get some good gear. For concealed carry mindset is the next topic we're going to go into. Having the right mindset when you're carrying a gun, knowing that you always have it on you, keeping that situational awareness, knowing that, hey, I have a deadly weapon on my body and I may have to use it. So I have to be aware of everything around me that's going on, past or present. So forward and back, always placing yourself in the right position to where if I had to get my gun out, am I going to have a struggle getting it out? Am I going to be too much crowded in a crowded elevator and am I going to be able to get to it? All those things you got to think about. The whole mindset, you're putting yourself in the back of the restaurant with your back against a wall, looking at the door. Most guys already do that, but you have to be vigilant in doing that all the time now because you have a deadly weapon. And keeping the mindset too that you do have a deadly weapon. That should be your tool of last resort. If you should have taken your CPO course, unless you're in a open or a constitutional carry state, and that's the only downside to the constitutional carry states is that for new gun owners, they're not required to take any training. It's recommended, not required, to be able to carry their firearm. I recommend highly that you go and get training to be able to safely use your tool. And again, it is a tool. So if it comes down to you using it, you want to be proficient at it and you want to know when and where to use it properly. What else did I have here? Guns. I was going to go into a little bit of gun selection here. I'm getting close to the end of 30 minutes, but I think we can go over just a little bit. For the gun selection, I know that Airdrie, he was interested in that last week about selecting the right concealed carry gun. So for you, I'll go ahead and go through that a little bit. Basically, it's whatever gun that you can use with your gross motor skills is the best concealed carry gun. Don't worry about size. If you can carry it comfortably and you can use the gun pretty much with frozen hands and adrenaline raised mindset and almost blindfolded, then that's the gun that you want to pick. Go to the range, go to any range that allow you to rent a gun and try them out. See which one feels good. It's about comfort and usability. You want to think about round count, caliber, and things like that. And we can go into that. That's a whole nother topic we'll do on another T3 episode. On my opinion, my thoughts on caliber and its use. I carry a 9mm because 9mm is very versatile. Ammunition is very versatile. There's a lot of it. It's available. It's cheap, and you can get a high capacity. You don't have to carry a Glock. No. I carry an M&P. I have an M&P 2.0 3.6 with an optic and a light, and that's my go-to. I don't carry with a safety. I don't like having safeties on a carry gun. That's one less thing that I have to worry about in a fight or flight moment. When your adrenaline is rushing, I want something simple. And I shoot better with my M&P. I do kind of shoot the Glock more because it is my duty competition gun at the moment, until I maybe upgrade to a CZ this year, because that's what I might go to. But I carry my M&P and I love it. You don't have to carry that. I've got guys who carry Taurus G3s and they love it. It shoots just as good as a Glock in their opinion. I don't know. I am definitely not a fan of carrying like 1911s. I think that's I don't like it. Not for me. So if you're experienced with Glocks, then that's going to be your go-to. If you think like the Glock 19s and 17s and 23s are too big, the Glock 43X and its aftermarket counterparts are great. You can get a higher capacity with aftermarket magazines, so you're not stuck with 10 rounds. So you can get into that 12 to 15 round capacity with them. They're very comfortable, very slim, very easy to conceal. It all depends, and they're easy to shoot. They're really out of the box, point, shoot, ready to go guns. So tools. So, what else do I got here? Picking full-size, micro, compact, or subcompacts, whichever is going to fit your frame and your hands better. Biggest misconception, a lot of instructors do this, and some are good. They'll tell women for the first time ever getting a gun that they want this like LCP2 with an 8-pound trigger pull, or the Shield EZ is a good recommendation for them because it was designed for women and for older gentlemen who have a hard time racking the slide. And then Ruger has their Easy Rack or Light Rack models. You want to actually, newer shooters work better with full-size guns. I recommend if you're a new shooter to have a full-size gun, not a compacts are still pretty much full-size, to be honest. Glock 19 is a very large gun. So Glock, compacting up for your first gun is what I recommend. It's bigger, it's easier, the controls are easier to use, it's easier to learn your fundamentals. Once you've learned your fundamentals, then you can go to your micro and subcompacts. Any experienced shooter will tell you that subcompacts, micro compacts are not fun to shoot, they're not easy to shoot, and that's coming from a trained shooter. I don't like them. If I had to use it in a self-defense situation, I could because I have my fundamentals down, because I would say I'm more of an experienced shooter. If you're not experienced, those are horrible guns to start out with. Horrible, in my opinion. But everybody's different. Some people like them. I'm not one of them. So, where to carry, when to carry. I'll cover that real quick. I know we're going a little over, but whatever. When to carry and where to carry. Some people have the mindset of every time I walk out that door, I got my gun. And that's great. But if I'm going to a family event and it's a safe place, I don't really need my gun. I can take it with me. I don't need to have it on me. If I'm going to a bad area, and I live in Detroit, or I don't live in Detroit, I work in Detroit, and if I'm traveling there, I'm probably going to have my gun. And Flint. There's certain areas, though, where I will just altogether avoid so that I don't have to take my gun there, because I don't want to have a confrontation. Because I'm not going out looking for a fight. I'm having my gun in case there is a fight that finds me. So it is, again, a tool of last resort. I'm going to try to avoid the problem and not walk right into it. So I'm not going to go somewhere where I think, I might need my gun going down that street. I think I'll go down a little bit. It's not being soft or pansy. It's just being smart. You don't want to get yourself into a fight when you're just by yourself, or when you got your family with you and you've got a gun with maybe 3 mags, which is quite a bit, but you don't want to get in that situation. So again, of course, any instructor will tell you avoid the confrontation first. So today we pretty much went over the holsters that we offer and the different styles of belt clips and different options and how they carry, where to carry, clothing to carry, your mindset when you're carrying. This is all just brief overview. We're not diving too deep in the weeds here. So I'll end with saying get training, as almost anybody will tell you, and my friends will tell you too, is dry fire training, local range training, and professional-led training is more important than buying better gear and more ammunition, even though you need more ammunition to train, so buy ammo. Get out and get the training, because without training, your tools are useless. If you have another thing with holsters, we'll briefly finish up here, but if you're carrying a gun, biggest question I have, will it scratch my gun? Will it wear my gun? Yes. Leather will too. Leather is organic material. It traps dust and dirt, which acts like sandpaper. Leather you have to care for better. You have to oil it regularly, like probably twice a year. It would be best. And a lot of times they will lose their form. Kydex won't do that unless you leave it in 100. It's got to be consistently like 140 plus degrees in order for this to start losing its shape. And I can reshape this with the heat gun at home. You can't do that with, well, if you know what you're doing, you can with leather, but we won't get there. I just have to rinse this out with water, take a microfiber cloth or an air gun. Boom, this is clean. Friction will always win. No matter what, friction wins. So if it's Kydex, nylon, neoprene, leather, it's going to wear your firearm. If your tool doesn't have wear marks on it, how often have you used your tool or trained with your tool? So leave your $4,500 Staccato at home if you don't want scratches on it. Don't carry it. Not to mention that if you do have to use it, you're not going to see that tool for quite a while. Keep that in mind. So with that, we will close episode 1 And we will see you all next week. So again, train and carry with confidence. You all have a good night.